Hi, Terry here. Welcome to another video. I got something in mind today that I think is going to be kind of fun, but I got to issue a disclaimer first. The following video is being presented for entertainment and educational purposes only. I urge all viewers to not try anything you're about to see at home, and if you do decide to try anything you're going to see in this video at home, you and only you are solely responsible for any consequences that might arise from that decision. Okay, having said that, today I'm going to try and answer a question, and that is, can a cap and ball revolver be suppressed? And by suppressed, I mean, can the amount of noise being generated by a cap and ball revolver be significantly or even appreciably reduced? Well, this comes with several caveats. The purpose of this video is, for one, can, not how or why. I'm not trying to create a quiet black powder revolver. So in that spirit, I am not going to modify the cap and ball revolver itself or how it functions in any way. Just as one example, I'm not going to replace the percussion caps with another quieter means of igniting the main charge. Percussion caps are part of cap and ball revolver. And two, this is not an instructional or how-to video, if I haven't mentioned that already. So please do not leave any comments suggesting ways of suppressing black powder revolvers or any firearm. Do not ask any questions about anything you're going to see in this video, because I won't tell you. And do not leave any links to other YouTube videos or websites in which the subject of suppressors are discussed in detail. Any comments that I feel are inappropriate to the purpose and theme of my channel will be deleted. Anyone looking for means of circumventing legal requirements or restrictions for whatever purpose will not find it here. That is not what this channel is about. So, having said that, while there are certain similarities between black powder and conventional revolvers, there are some very important differences too that I feel need to be discussed. In order not to bore you too much, I'm going to go through this very quickly. Conventional revolvers use a primer mounted to the back of a metal case to ignite the main charge. The cartridge is then encased inside the cylinder frame, so when ignited, most of the sound generated remains inside the chamber and exits through the barrel. Cap and ball revolvers use percussion caps to ignite the main charge. These caps are mounted on the outside of the cylinder on a nipple or cone, so when ignited, a good portion or all of the sound generated is released into the air. The second thing to consider, and this is really more of a difference between all revolvers and semi-autos, is that revolvers have a gap between the forcing cone and cylinder, so when the expanding gas pushes the bullet out of the chamber into the barrel, some gas escapes through that gap, generating sound. The third thing to consider is the type of propellant. Smokeless powder burns very quickly, generating a lot of pressure, and the bullet can often exceed the speed of sound, around 1100 feet per second, creating a sonic boom at the muzzle that can be described as a very sharp and very loud crack or bang. Smokeless powder also burns very efficiently, so it generates very little smoke and so very little fouling. But because it operates above the sound barrier or is supersonic, the noise generated by it is also more difficult to suppress, and suppressors really only function efficiently with subsonic ammunition, which can also significantly reduce the power of the firearm. Black powder, on the other hand, has a very different pressure curve. It burns more slowly, so generates less pressure, and so less muzzle velocity. Black powder can also break the sound barrier, but most cap and ball revolvers operate below that barrier, so they are subsonic. They are loud, but it's more of a deep boom than an ear-ringing bang or crack. This can actually work for cap and ball because we may not need to reduce the power to reduce the noise level like with conventional firearms. Black powder also burns much less efficiently, so produces more smoke and soot. However, while that could be an important factor in designing a practical silencer, that has nothing to do with can a cap and ball even be suppressed. So first, we need to establish a couple of baselines. First of all, how much of the noise generated by a cap and ball is generated by the percussion caps and how much of that noise is generated by the muzzle blast. Well, I'm going to use this calibrated decibel meter, and I'm going to fire off 3 Remington number 10 caps and record the results. $75.2, 66.1, 75.7. Now, let's fire off 3 rounds loaded. I'm going to be using identical Remington number 10 percussion caps, this time loaded with 30 grains of triple F 777 and a .451 lead ball. $83.7, $81.9, $85.9. Okay, I ran the numbers and I got some interesting results. The percussion caps alone generated an average decibel reading of 72.3 decibels. Fully loaded with 3 rounds, I got an average noise level of 83.83 decibels. Now, to put all that in perspective, OSHA, Occupational Safety and Health Administration, states that anything above 70 decibels continuously for a prolonged period of time can lead to some hearing loss, but 85 to 90 decibels is okay for short-term unprotected hearing, and anything of 120 decibels or louder can cause some immediate hearing loss. Well, at a maximum decibel reading of just around 84 decibels, black powder is fine, at least my Colt 1860 44 caliber new model Army is just fine to go out on a range and shoot a few rounds without earplugs in. Now that's assuming there's no echo. I'm out in the big, deep, dark forest, and there are nobody shooting nearby you. But however you look at it, that's not really all that loud. Some people play stereos a lot louder than that. But the question now then comes up, can that noise level be significantly reduced any? Let's find out. Okay, due to certain legal and potential safety concerns, I can't show you the first method that I'm going to try out. Let's just say it is a common movie myth, and let's see how it works. Well, I didn't get a decibel rating on that, but to my unprotected hearing, it's going to be the same, about 85 decibels. And that makes a lot of sense when you think about it, because the method that I just tried has been disproven over and over and over. It doesn't work. But there is a method I can try that might work. We're all familiar with the movie myth of the mafioso hitman using a pillow and a Beretta 9mm to silence an assassination. They hold the pillow up against the person's head, put their barrel of their gun up against it and shoot it, and it's perfectly quiet. Well, that has been tested a lot of times, and it has been shown that it actually does work. So I guess the question comes to mind is, will it work with a cap and ball revolver? Well, as it turns out, Sam Soda here is back from the dead, and he's been causing some trouble around town, and a local gangster boss has hired me to take him out. Unfortunately, it's 1863, so the Beretta 9mm hasn't been invented yet. So I'm going to try out my recently released and newly purchased Colt 1860 44 caliber Army revolver. I got my pillow, but there is a problem with the percussion caps. After all, I don't want to draw a lot of attention to myself. So what I'm going to do is lay a little cloth over the percussion cap and see if that actually interferes with the hammer firing the cap. And then we're going to see if we can't take out Sam Soda. So here we go. Well, wow. Again, I didn't use my decibel meter, and I didn't really have to. My ears are ringing just a little bit. If anything, that may have been a little worse even. It might have really just blown more of the sound back at me. That was loud. That was at least 85 decibels, maybe more. So, what can we take away from all of this? Well, while black powder revolvers are loud, they aren't as loud as an equivalent conventional revolver. A modern 44 caliber revolver is going to be a lot louder than a cap and ball 44. But as to can a cap and ball revolver be suppressed? Well, I'm not going to say definitively no, but the two tests I ran today show no. The method I tried, movie myth, actually the two methods I tried were both movie myths on an unmodified revolver with unmodified ammunition, and the results were the same. Now, I did not do the decibel meter reading, but again, using my ears, there was no appreciable difference with either the method I can't show you or the pillow method. If anything, it was a little louder. So, next time you're hanging out with your buds or your peeps or whatever they call them these days, and discussion comes up of can cap and ball revolvers be suppressed, you might make some money if you bet no. As always, thanks for watching. Do not try any of this at home, and hope to see you next time. I'll keep a light on for you.